Can you hear me? Well, okay. First of all, a small warning. My presentation is not going to be as glamorous as it was last 2, 3 keynote speakers. They're really fantastic slides, very colorful. For those whom it is boring, jump across, have a coffee and come back again. Anyway, let me start. My work has been to see people in India, from wherever they come, from the slum or the hilly area or the tribal or whatever it is, they happen to make the minimum wage of 300 rupees a day. And how they achieve that 300 rupees a day through intervention of technology, and how the technology is used in their day-to-day life, and how we enable them to get that minimum wages has all along been my task. And all my innovations have been around that. So around 600 innovations came in. About 275 plus have been commercialized. They are in various markets of the world. And about 18 million people in India use my products, and more of them are joining in. So this is first step of my innovation journey. So I'll be showing you certain slides on design and innovations for the low-income economies. Frankly telling you, it was a little confusing for me, low-income economies. I just believe BOP, bottom of the pyramid, however glamorous, non-glamorous it looks like, there's a huge chunk of population living there. I've been working with these people for the last 35 years, and I still enjoy working with them. Nothing has changed there. I have changed, the country has changed. Those people are still the same. Okay. You must be knowing the process. That is, identify the issue, discuss issue with the stakeholder, involve stakeholder during innovation. I have put in stakeholder in complete bold letters. Reason is, craft is a different matter, engineering is a different matter, protecting his daily wages within his domain with no external influence is a completely different ballgame. So we need to sit with him, check with him absolutely all the parameters what he thinks are necessary for him to get this innovation going and working for him. So this process sometimes involves we being on his seat and he being on our seat. Both seats are exchanged, and then the innovation is finally born out with a lot of technical inputs which set in. Then innovate, validate it, and sell the design. Why I use the sell the design is, I worked in the Indian Institute of Science, and when I left it, I had 200 rupees in my pocket. I started my company, Flexitron. Today it's a large company, it's a different matter. My only capital was my brain, so my ideas were sold initially. Later on, I started selling them to the Chinese people and getting them manufactured, selling them back in India. That association still remains. And the last part, innovate, validate, field test, and mass produce. Plenty of them I have mass produced also. I will take you through some case studies. You must have seen this gentleman on the left side, people who come from middle Maharashtra and here. Bangalore, they are not very popular. It's an ordinary cycle rickshaw puller. Now, you know, this population is getting completely displaced in the urban area because they cause traffic jams because of the slow speed. Now, you may be surprised, there are 1.3 million of these people in the country. And his only USP, when we had several interactions with him, was, sir, I can only do a muscular work, use my legs, my brains are out, they have been sold. I have got nothing up here. Tell us something where we can do something with our muscles. A lot of interactions went, talks went, and in Nanded of Maharashtra, we started one project where we designed an equipment where looks exactly like a cycle rickshaw, but it is not a cycle rickshaw, it's a stationary equipment. All they need to do is keep pedaling, charge about 8 lamp units. They get about 30 lamp units. 2 are in reserve. The balance of them they keep charging. In a day, they are able to charge up to 24 to 30 lamps. These things, they go and hire it out to the vegetable vendors. You can see the machine, how it looks. There's a whole set of generators behind, the pedaling, the seat, and the pedal, and then it gets charged. In 1 hour, they are completely full. They are ready to burn for about 6 hours, each one of them. This is where the vendors are there in the bottom. And each one of them are connected with each other. It's a very small time vendor, a push cart seller, somebody who's selling chai and idli and something on the roads, but they desperately require a light. These guys hire them, they pay them. End of the day, the rickshaw pullers today are earning about 700 to 900 rupees a day, whereas their earlier incomes were 350. So this we thought is a big boost. Stage 2, we are taking them into the design team to see that they further refine the method of producing these at their own levels, making small clubs or SHGs, as you may call, self-help groups. They will be teaching the peer method of producing the small little chargers and the whole cycle machine. We move out of the space completely. This is just about the brief summary of that. Lighting with charger, and the target is to protect their income. The response has been very good. There are about 700 units which are currently working in the country. This little telephone charger, what you are seeing for the cell phones. Now, this is going to be, I think, it's not an Apple phone, but it is going to create a bigger storm than the Apple phone for the poor people, not for us. Reason is, the man you can see on the right side, both the vegetable seller and the small chai wala down, they all have phones. Today, nobody can live without a phone. The phone is the vital communication connect to the world. Now, these people had an issue. They use it the whole day. In the morning, they want it charged, and there is no electricity at home. Our conditions, excepting Bangalore and large metros, smaller towns, generally they feel that you don't need electricity in the night. They remove the electricity out, or it is switched off. And access to a telephone charger had become a big challenge. Then we thought of an equipment which was designed around this particular challenge, which becomes a solution provider for the telephones and also an employment generation for the owner of the charging equipment. Now the target is anybody who owns the charging equipment, which costs about 12,000 rupees, he makes about 500 to 800 rupees a day, plus he is helping the entire people around who wish to charge their phones. The challenge was to charge the phone in 1 hour. Now here is where the technical design comes in. You can pump in electricity into a telephone, but the battery starts heating up, and the phone can conk out or the battery can burst. Then this whole charger was designed with a forced ventilation system, which we have taken a patent now. The entire phones are cooled, air cooled when they are charged. And in an hour you have a telephone which is 65% charged, not 100%, but it is enough for them to pull the whole day with whatever activity they are doing. There are a whole lot of design elements in this particular thing. The way the pigeonhole has to be there, the way the security has to be kept. We have to see that somebody who keeps a phone in the pigeonhole, he gets his own phone out. He doesn't take somebody else's telephone. And the key system, and one master key system where anything can be opened, any of the pigeonholes can be opened in case the phone owner loses the key. So many elements came in, then the timing device where it times, and then one small beeper to say this phone is charged and we'll have to take it out. All these design elements came in, and it was a record 100-day project. We came out with the prototype. Now mass production has started. Several of them are in the country. And just I was listening to Devika telling about Ranthambore. Similar situation exists in Kalahari Desert. Kalahari Desert, the people are telling, sir, can you supply us about 3,000 units? All around the desert we want them, because everywhere there is a huge mess in telephones. Nobody has a charger. They travel by bus 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers to get a telephone charged and come back. So this is the impact of a simple little thing, which is a combination of several elements. The whole summary of this, it's a rural cell phone charger, provide charging for phones. Bottom line, create employment. Now here we always say, if an equipment can give you income, also can create some empowerment as a group. It's a fantastic design. Then the response has been very good. We have about 180 numbers. About 2,000 numbers have been ordered. We'll be starting producing them. Now this is something very interesting. This is a picture from Guwahati, close to Guwahati, Tura. There are hills in Tura where you can't buy a matchbox. and the population is about 70, 80, 100, sometimes 200. It takes you about 1 day of trek to reach up the hilltop, and then you can come back again by a day. The only luxury there is getting malaria. You're sure to get malaria once you visit there. Okay? And this place has rice as a crop which grows. Now these people did not know how do we convert this rice into an edible commodity. So they used to use hand pounding, and a lot of things used to get crushed out. Then they came to us and we said, okay, fine, we will design you equipment where the hulling can be done in a very controlled manner, and they hull their rice, maybe 2 kgs a day, whole village. For that, we just put a solar panel, designed an equipment, a very tiny huller. Now they become independent for that particular commodity. They don't need to depend on the urban setup for getting the rice hulled. So this is where this little machine delivers them rice out of the produce what they make. This is what the whole innovation is all about, with hull rice locally. Then again create employment in the sense they can own it as a group, or somebody can own it, and then he hires the machine for use, and they all operate together as a community. Can you tell me what this man on the right side is using in the ear? It is definitely not a telephone. Anybody can say here? I know all high-tech people out here. Huh? Perfect. Yes. Now this hearing aid, Government of India has been giving this free of cost from 1988 to several people across the country. About 6 lakh of them were being distributed per year. They were given with 1 battery. Now the hearing aid patient to take it, not a patient, hearing aid person who had a difficulty in hearing, used the hearing aid, and once that battery was exhausted, he did not bother to buy it because he had different priorities. He said, I wasn't hearing before, and it makes no difference if I don't hear now. But where can I get the battery? Let me not bother about buying another one. In a month and a half, the hearing aid was abandoned. This was funded by UNICEF to Government of India, and UNICEF very cleverly made a survey what has happened to the hearing aids, and they found 3% of the aid was being used, balance 97%, nobody was using them. This became a challenge to Government of India. They came back to us to find a small solution. That is when we designed this particular solar battery charger, as you call, which the hearing aid user can use it for 9 years without a single battery change. They don't wear it on the body, they just insert a battery, keep one for charging, cyclically they keep removing it and putting it back. We talk here of sustainability, of recyclability, distributed renewable energy. This particular product, everything can be seen there because the solar cells are recycled. The plastic what you see outside is from the monitor, CRT monitor scrap. The glass what you see on that is again a re-rolled acrylic. The strips what you see inside are again wire scrap which come out of electronic waste. And this product was done in 1990. So we did not think of all these concepts of sustainability and all these things. I never knew the jargon. But my idea was, end of the day, how do I make it cheaper than a Chinese product? And mind you, 4 times the Government of India called for a global tender. All the 4 times, the Chinese could not supply it at the rates what we were giving. And they are still even wondering, even till date, what was the magic, how we made it so low cost. And this was the whole trick about it. And design plays an element there. When you design a product, you have to choose the color of the product. We chose black because black can absorb all recycled plastic, ABS. If I make it white, then I need virgin raw material. Then finally we found the consumer, he's not bothered about the aesthetic part of it because now he's caring more of the functionality since he doesn't carry it in his pocket all day. He says, I don't care what color it is, it's doing my work. So I keep it in the window, I go to work, come back, my battery is charged, I put it in again. And this product, anywhere in the country, 50-kilometer radius, you will find 2 of this, entire India. It is sold like hotcakes across the country. made by the deaf, produced by the deaf, tested by the deaf, used by the deaf. We have different users group which are only making this product and selling it. We have given them the technology. This is what it is, solar battery charger, charging hearing aids. The response has been phenomenal. Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, we have similar hearing aid users. They come in, they use it. Now this product led to another product that is behind the ear hearing aids, the tiny ones what people use now. It was a very challenging one. Just last year we brought out the solar charger for that also. And that is going to roll out very shortly. And one more thing which I wish to tell you about that product is, the disposed batteries would have been the size of a huge mountain if this product was not there in India. Because every week one battery is disposed out. You can imagine 30 million people disposing batteries out every week. What is the size of that disposal e-waste you would have had? That particular impact, UK recognized it, they have recognized us, they have sent us grants, and it's a different story by itself. But a product also should be environmentally impactful in the long run of itself. This is a very wonderful machine which we just struck upon when I spent time with shepherds in Karnataka. About 200 kilometers up north from here, we have Chitradurga and all these places. I generally spend about a week, 10 days with this community. There are a lot of challenges which we understand from them when we listen to their problems and how they need lighting in the thing and how they need to identify snakes in the night. They come back to us, they take products from us. One time, one of the shepherds told me that his biggest challenge is selling wool. Now the volume of wool when they fleece the sheep is so heavy, you can see the bags there. They need to transport this bag all the way to the market, and once this poor fellow is there in the market, they know, the wholesaler knows he's not going to go back. So they say, unless you sell it for this cost, I'm not going to buy it. Then this man has no choice, he needs to sell it, otherwise he has to trek back again back to the village, or maybe 10, 15, 20, 30 kilometers with all the bags. Challenge was, they said, can you reduce the volume? That's when we made a solar spinning machine. It's just a tiny box. He removes the solar panel, keeps it there. 25 bags of wool gets converted into yarn of just 2 bags. Now that becomes completely portable for him. He can sell it at his choice of time, and since it is already a converted raw material, he feels his price is much better. In fact, they have an additional price of about 60% on the raw wool to spun wool. Now the buyer also knows the quality of the wool, the strength. There are so many parameters in it. We haven't gone in depth. Our target was to design the machine. These machines are there. They're running on the field now. Response has been very, very good. A little summary about it. Just about 300 to 400 units are there in the market now, but we want to take it much ahead. We have requirements coming in as far as Ladakh. Ladakh, as Devika was telling, there are several tribes, and one of the tribes is people who move with the sheep and particular goats, Pashmina goats, and the woolen which comes from this nomadic community. They use something called a takli, one of the oldest spinning techniques. They would like us to see if we can design a very tiny spinning machine for them where all this wool can be converted. This is for the weavers. Now these weavers have a challenge like Kanchipuram. This photograph is from Kanchi. Their challenge was they have no electricity when the peak season is there, because the peak season comes a little after summer or during summer. That's the marriage season. Spinning stops. They said, could we do something for lighting up at a very low wattage and low cost? And their low wattage was, they have a UPS system which operates just 2 tube lights. At some scheme they had bought it. They said, sir, for 80 watts is what we have. Can you give us some kind of a lighting unit? Then we designed a lighting unit for operating on 6 watts of electricity. Now 6 watts of electricity to throw that kind of light for his task was a challenge. Then special lens were molded, what you can see on the right side, top. Those lenses are patented, very special. They divert all the light into a single strip, and that strip is his task area. So this product takes 6 watts of electricity, low energy footprint, does its task, and is directly operable on a tiny battery which is charged by a solar. The inverter has been redundant now, and hundreds of these units are running, and the craftsmen are completely satisfied with the kind of lighting. We have issues with the color rendering in racks, what we call the CRI, that we are sorting out, because LEDs are very funny. As they age, they start becoming more and more bluish. Initially, they are very white, very warm white, but 50,000 hours or 40,000 hours, it starts becoming blue. It's a different technical issue. We are sorting out that particular issue now. So this is the whole summary of it. This is one more wonderful device, medical outreach device. The neonatal population in India gets, why India, even throughout the world that issue exists, something called the Rubella virus. And this Rubella virus, in case it sets in the kids, before the kid can speak, talk or respond, that is the first 3 months, it can make him or her permanently deaf. There is no way to check it unless you bring the baby to a big diagnostic center like Bangalore. Now a person within Bangalore, it's difficult for him to go to a hospital in Bangalore because of the traffic situation. Imagine what a rural fellow will do. So that challenge came, and we said we will take the machine, which is a very expensive machine, reduce the whole cost and take the machine to the village. Why bring the baby to the town? Then this little handheld screener was designed. Now here is where one theory which I have believed and which has worked for us is a 80% accuracy theory. Never try to design something which is 100% okay. But that target is very difficult. 80% equipment is fantastic, will do the job. You have a doubt of the 20%, have a specialist intervene. But that 80% job will clear off most of your work, what has to be done. That is when this equipment came. All this equipment has is, it produces sounds of 4 volumes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 frequencies. Now the baby, if you take the machine and switch it on, if it responds to the lowest volume, lowest frequency, hearing is perfect. If it does not respond even to the highest frequency, highest volume, something is wrong with the hearing. Somewhere midway, it is doubtful. That is when the mother is advised, please take the kid to the hospital or wherever it is. And this machine costs 300 rupees. It works at least 8 to 10 years because we have a little solar charger for it, little lithium battery inside. It goes and goes and goes. Sir, you have a question, something? Now we are planning to do that as an app, but then we felt that the cell phone again is a very different device. The fidelity of the frequency between my phone and your phone may not be the same. Here it's a very fine-tuned speaker, and the speaker is recycled again from old computers. And there are millions of old computers lying around. Okay, and they are very high fidelity speakers. Okay. This is the whole genesis of the product. Yes. Government, NGOs, it's a lot of customers. Yeah. You must be knowing the gentleman on the left, Mahatma Gandhi ji, a father of our nation. That humble charkha was dying out, and khadi was being propagated from top of the world across the world. That khadi is the cloth of India. But there are no producers of khadi. The reason was daily wages, as I put it across again. The amount of khadi they produced and the amount of money they got was a mismatch. And people said, we have better professions, let us move to the town or urban area and earn a living. That's when this machine was designed, to see that they produce khadi and they also get electricity from the machine. That's a very simple contraption with a very complicated working. All we did was fit one generator in the khadi spinner. That charkha was modified, it got a generator in it. During the khadi spinning, you produce electricity, you store it, and in the night, you have a complete hut glowing with light. Now, what was interesting for these people in Rajasthan, Gujarat, and those belts of Madhya Pradesh, UP was, they said, I am doing my work. It is not just money which I am taking back power and electricity. In Hindi, they said, मुझे पैसा भी आ रहा है, मैं बिजली भी ले जा रहा हूँ. So, that became a hit. People came back once again to Khadi, and now, of course, it has taken a very different spin. We have the Patanjali people coming to us now, asking us to design solar charkas. That's one other paradigm of this thing which will get extended. Khadi is again taken off in a very different spectrum, all because of one additional equipment or an item or a small little thing what I require, which money can't buy. That's the light. You can see the light. Now, the design journey in this was very interesting, thanks to a company called Nishia in Japan. This came out in 1996. 96, when we started that, LEDs were in its infancy, just for glowing and little bright ones. 2000, it got again a reform, and 2003, finally, it came to a commercial form. 2003, if you put in 1 watt of electricity, you could get about 60 lumens of light output. Lumens is the quantity for light. Now, 60 lumens was not sufficient for a hut. Not really sufficient, but okay in zero darkness. Nishia had brought out a LED, which had 135 lumens out. So I visited Japan. I told them, sir, this is our project. We are in a hurry. Is there some way you can give us this LED so that we can attach it to this equipment? They looked at it. They said, no, now it is currently priced at something like about $12 US. That is our commercial price, what we'll be launching out. Your machine will become expensive. And he said, look into it, look into it. Then the agreement was signed. They finally gave it to us at 70 cents. That is their cost of production. They said, we wish to be your partners in this simple equipment for one reason. We want Nishia to light up Indian homes. And we can never forget that company's commitment, because their social cause, commercialization, was removed out, and that we passed on exactly to the customers. The whole charka with all the generator, lighting package, everything is costing 3,000 rupees only. We never added any kind of a cost of margin or anything. So we thank Nishia again. I wish to inform you, because here to all the forum, if designers wish to work with established manufacturers or established companies, and you have a right target or an audience or a right design to take it forward, plenty of help comes from all the corners. So please do take it, but package your requirement in a very proper manner so the other man understands what you need. Now, when I told you the challenge was this piece of machine. This is the generator that gets into the charka. Now, when we call off a universal design, when this whole process of designing this generator was going on, one, I designed it in a way that it can last for 45 years. Two, though there are gears in it, the gears will never require any kind of a lubrication for its lifetime. Three, it has no brushes, no moving parts. It's a moving coil system. It's a very different technology. And it's an AC generator of 3-phase, 3 watts, very, very tiny generator. Number 4 was it should have multiple applications, not just for the charka. I just took this example to explain to you how you can, during the exercise of a design, extend your thinking a little beyond and see that it should have multiple applications for several other things. This is the thing, innovation, sustainability, and multi-application. In the center is the dynamo, that system, and you can see the kind of professions you can attach it to generate electricity. On the top is your simple knife sharpener on the street. On the right is your street hawker who pushes his push cart. He just needs to attach there. On the bottom is a shaft cutter from Punjab. Left side is your ordinary grinder, corn grinder. On the right side top is a potter, plus so many other applications. All these people, most of these live without electricity. This machine attached there in the right appropriate place, their little muscular force adds to that, they can all have lighting. So this is real true, according to us, a sustainable innovation which goes into multiple fields. I want to say the future of innovation for low income economy, that is the BOP, as we call it, it's an absolutely untapped and one of the largest sustainable opportunity today. You just cannot believe the kind of resources and the requirements that are needed at the BOP, which have been neglected all along since the Industrial Revolution till date. Now is the time, if you can really focus your attention for the requirements, you can have companies which are going to be bigger than your Apple computers and things. They all require, and they have three fundamental requirements. They say, we do not have a foolish choice for a product. We need an actual product. We are not bothered about the snob value of a product. We need a product which works. Number three, we need a product if it can give us more empowerment and some amount of entertainment. Just listen to this. You see the amount of energy and time and capital we have burnt in generating and making iPhones of our iPhones, 6, 7 iPhones. Close to $19 billion has evaporated in designing 6 phones and bringing out 6 phones. Isn't this murder of capital? For whose fancy? For what? Finally, it's ultimately you talk, speak, chat, see, look, come back. And more colorful, more glossy, more touch this thing, and then speeds, because everybody is in a hurry. Is that what we call really innovation? According to me, no. 35 years, I feel no. The same amount of money, if it is channelized elsewhere, I mean, I'm not talking on a sociological angle here, I'm talking on the innovation angle. The amount of products we could have brought out. What are the things the world is looking for? Do we have today a packaged toilet, which one company is designing now, I'm working with them. I can go to a supermarket and say, I'm coming from this village, can you give me a toilet set? I take it as a box, come home, make a small pit and erect the toilet. Do we have one? We don't have. Somebody here who would like to do it, it's a multi-billion industry. People want toilets, they don't get a mason. If they have a mason, he doesn't know the standards. He has a standard, he cannot get a WC. Now all this, if you package it as a kit, just imagine. No, these are things which are required at the BOP. These are the designs that the BOP is looking for. Low economy. And this is where you must really be striking on. I know you have different priorities, and this definitely is not a glamorous work. But let me tell you, rightly done, it has enriched me 10 times more than whatever company I could have opened. I have retired happily at the age of 50. I'm 56 now, but I still continue to work here, not with a commercial frame, with a different frame. So if you could retire at the age of 50 doing this, you all can do it at 45 also, you can retire. A little about me. 36 years I have been here in this field, absolute targeted innovation. Product development and commercialization has been my hardcore work. 600 plus innovations, 275 innovations commercialized. I have 18 pending patents. The patent office in India has made a joke out of my patents because till date, it is 6 years, they say we have no examiners for your patents. Simple. And now CII, I gave a talk recently in CII. The patent office is like, I continuously get to woo a girlfriend. I take her around park and everything. I don't know when the marriage is going to happen. And when it happens, she's already an old lady. So the patent is lost. I mean, today the obsolescence of innovations is so high. I mean, what I innovate today is tomorrow obsolete. If I don't get the rights, then finally I said, no, patency is an absolutely stupid exercise. I mention this because you will ask me why I patented 18, but I became wise after patenting 18 times, applying for patent. Okay. Be fast, be on your target. If you can offer a right product which serves your consumer at the right price, don't bother about patents, don't bother about advertisements, don't bother about anything. Lastly, 4 national awards to the President of India, only for innovation. And this was done specifically, no lobbying, no nonsense. They all knew the applications, they knew what it was for. They gave it. Well, that gave me a little boost because I feel very proud. Oh, I am 4 national awards. But more than that, I feel my pockets are full. Okay, that's a different story by itself. Now, the entire summary of this would be, as youngsters today, you live in a world where challenges are more clearer to you. Money is available more easily. Education is no longer a barrier. And information has become a joke. Press a button, you get information about everything. You will know more about yourself than you know about yourself through the internet. So very different angles today. Okay? So at this age, make use of this completely and then bring about that change what the world wants to see. And the world has a dream in you, really. I have a dream in you to see people will make tomorrow in India a fantastic place to live in. Clean air, clean water, and a clean living. All the three. He's my inspiration. Okay? And it continues even today. Thank you. Go to the website and look into whatever products are there. I showed you 1% of my products. 99% cannot be done at this forum. Depending on each place, we'll definitely do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hiremath, for a very inspiring talk. And I'm sure there are a lot of questions, but I would like to request that we're going to have a tea break now, so I think we can just have conversations over tea break. Okay, we'll take 2 questions. Carlo?
No, thanks a lot. It was amazing. No, very interesting. No, my point is actually you follow the beginning. We are proposing a new approach, not selling product, but selling services and being rewarded by the unit of satisfaction. So have you ever thought of moving from selling products to providing those products, whether they are for healthcare or for other things, and still for the BOP, okay? But it could be even lower prices with a higher quality products. And actually you could have even a better loyalty with your client, if I can use this into for the BOP. So what do you think about shifting to a different business model? You are saying, now I'm retired and and still dreaming to do something. So could it be this part of your dream, or would you suggest that this could be feasible? There are other experience that we didn't have the time to show that much, but what do you think about it as an entrepreneur?
Are you focusing on mass producing these things?
Not necessarily, but maybe yes. I don't know. It depends.
No, there are 2 important things here. All these are mass producible. All the tools, dies, and whatever jigs are necessary are available. Number 2, any entrepreneur wants to do it, they are free to pick up. And number 3, if some product and the final projection what is taking the equipment into interests us, I am ready to fund it also. Have I answered your question? So,
yes,
yeah.
but I didn't understand your answer. No, the last sentence. What did you say?
If somebody is going to convince me that this product is going to be taken to the right corner, to the right people, to the right place, he's short of funds. I'm ready to fund the project also partially and get the other funding for him. All I need is the last mile walker to the BOP. People who can take it into the BOP in a mass scale.
Yeah. Okay.
So my forte has been innovation. I cannot be spending my time on marketing, although I would love to. It's very interesting and quite an enjoyable profession. But then innovation is my thing. I have spent every minute, even today I would like to spend every minute on innovation.
Now, what I'm saying, innovation is even in terms of services, not just product. So you can have a product, but you can innovate even in terms of
Services.
yes. So it's
Available. Yes.
It's not just I'm selling you the product.
Uh-huh.
I give you the product. This is, but you retain the ownership of this product, which is with a high value. They can use it, and they pay you in time for the use of it.
Yes, yes. The Kalahari Desert model
and
is
I think that you can reach even a wider range of BOP, because this is even cheaper than the product that you can, because you have to reduce the operative cost so much, and to reach this person, but you can have even a higher quality product, but they don't have to pay the initial investment cost, and this makes maybe. This is a question for you. Could it be that you have even a wider
it is possible.
Customers?
It's possible. We call it the lease model.
Yeah.
Where the equipment gets leased.
Yeah. Yes. Lease is close to PSS. Exactly.
Precisely, and that's where the cycle rickshaw model now is being leased by one Mahila cooperative bank.
So you're doing a PSS.
We're doing it. So what happens? The bank is buying the equipment. They're leasing it to them, and the lease amount is paid. And the maintenance is done by another entrepreneur in totality.
Yes. I hope we can collaborate in the next future.
Definitely, yes. And we are looking at very stark third world countries now. Please.
It's actually very closely related. The phone charger, which is like a public, the boxes where you can charge your phone. Who is actually the owner of that product, of the charger? Is because that's so like publicly, it has access for everyone, isn't it?
It depends where you would like to place it.
Okay.
If you want to place it publicly, public can use it.
So it's open for community.
Ownership can be again a lease model, or I can own it, or somebody as an entrepreneur can own it. It's a business. Yep. So instead of me selling
that's a very good example of PSS.
Our point is this, that if the ownership remain by the producer, there is not the customer, the BOP don't have to buy this, that they may not be able to afford it, all right? And then if something happened during the use because it breaks the battery or whatever, this is a cost from the producer, so they can go on in using it. And the producer will design something that will last long because it's in his or her economic interest, as well as the solar charger or whatever it is. So I would like really to further discuss with you.
Definitely possible. There's no this thing. And the equipment anyway is very, very low cost. It costs you just $300. Zero. There's no maintenance. There's no maintenance required until you vandalize it. You break it physically. There are no moving parts inside, except the cooling fan, which has a life of a very, very long time. And the whole equipment costs $600 $300, sorry.
So even on your side, you know, not selling could be a good business because you don't have cost for
I will think of this. I will think of this. Some company which owns all these equipments hires it out and empowers the people locally. It is definitely a possibility.
Great. Very good.
Yes. Please. Yes.
Yeah. So right now, since you have ownership of these innovations and designs, right? Because you have the patents, or Flexitron has the patents. Have you thought of kind of going for an open model wherein the designs itself are owned, are free to kind of use and modify at different locations in India and get manufactured separately? So that would fit into our distributed design kind of a concept.
Okay, as far as the openness of the design is concerned, the website has come last year. The products are 35 years old. The reason to put the website is for anybody to use any design they like, any product they like. We have no commercial interest in the products anymore. They have served their job.
So I can download
anybody, you download, do what you like. You need modification, come back to me. We'll modify it for a particular purpose, sometimes free of cost, sometimes all you may have to bear is some cost of traveling and coming. That's about it. Everybody is free. These are open to everybody. Okay? Thanks. Yes? Yeah, Mr.
No, really, thank you very much. But just for the audience and for the LeNSin project, I think that here we have very different type of distributed economies. We have distributed renewable energy, because in some cases you are using this, distributed manufacturing, distributed healthcare, and even distributed design, because this is open. So actually, thanks. Well, that's really something will help us to think more. I would like to see even your business model and how you even make money out of it, which is very important. Thank you very much.
Lastly, I would love distributed challenges. Please bring them along.
Yes.
In innovation.
Yes. And distributed friendship.